So we recognize this sacred space with a sacred sound and a sacred breath. Please take a deep breath and exhale with me. For we're breathing in the breath of the divine. God is present right here, right now, in this very space, in, around, and through all that is, in, around, and through each of you, present in our hearts, in our minds, in this magnificent Unity of Pasadena space, this beautiful sanctuary. We recognize that this presence brings about the best in each and every one of us. That today we have an opportunity to hear exactly what it is that we must hear, to feel what we need to feel, and to be inspired in ways that just change our lives. So we know that that is in the process. It's in the works right here and right now. And so we just have great gratitude for all of the people that bring forth this magnificent service in this beautiful space. We just have great gratitude for our volunteers. We have great gratitude for our board of trustees, for our sound and streaming. And our ministry today works in so many different ways. We're so grateful for that, from our prayer ministry to our music ministry, and we're so thankful. And so we just relax into this moment now, recognize the love around us, we embrace it. And it's with great thanksgiving that I release these words into the law of mind, knowing that they're already done. And please join me by saying, and so it is. Amen. Well, I'm in the mood. How about you? I'm Reverend Greg Dorst, and I'm so happy to be here. This is a magnificent space, and we welcome you to it. We have a lot of things going on. We have a lot of things that we like to share with one another. And one of the things we like to first share is our beautiful song, Holy, Holy, Holy.
Good morning. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. You are holy. Spirit divine, come to me. Healing love, healing me. Open my heart, allow me to see beauty and love that lives in me. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am whole. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am whole.
And for those of you that are streaming today, we thank you for joining us. We have a pretty full sanctuary today, so I don't know if the camera allows you to see that, but we're doing pretty well. Let's let the streaming people know how we're doing. How are we doing? That gets us in the mood. And we've got a wonderful day today. We do have some reminders before we get into some of our opening activities. I want to thank you for loving your neighbor by keeping both your nose and your mouth covered throughout the Sunday service unless you're on the mic. So we really appreciate you. I notice each of you has a mask on today, and we are conscious of our part in being of service to humanity and being of service to those who are here today by creating a safe space. I really, really want to thank you for that. So we also have some things that we do every Sunday that are really exciting. The first thing is the Unity Blessing. Would you join me in the Unity Blessing, please? We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you just the way we are. We also have a statement of faith. If you could join with me in the statement of faith. There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the good, omnipotence, and I am one with that presence and power. So we have great activities planned for you today. We have a magnificent talk on co-creation that I'm sure you're going to enjoy very much, and we have beautiful and resounding spiritual moments with meditation, with the daily word, and we look so forward to that today. If you don't know who I am and you have just walked in today, I am Reverend Greg Dorst, and I'm so happy to be here as a guest minister. So as we move into this morning's activities, we do so with love, we do so with a sense of gratitude, and we do so because we are a community. And here to express exactly how it is that we find ourselves in a community setting and how we act within it, please come on up. Charmaine, thank you.
Greetings.
Hello.
Okay, please join with me in affirming our core values. Creating community, living love, teaching truth, serving spirit. And also join with me in affirming our vision statement. Envisioning a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And finally, of course, our mission statement, transforming lives by living and sharing the inner truth of divine wisdom, compassion, and love, using practical spiritual principles. The bulletin that some of you received when you walked in the door, that's available in the foyer, has all of the scheduled events for the month. It doesn't really change, so if you got one earlier, you don't necessarily need another one, but you can also find it on the website under the calendar section, so that can help keep you updated of what's going on. This Tuesday, September 28th, is the fourth Tuesday of the month. And so if you would please join our prayer chaplains via Zoom at 6:30 for tea time with the prayer chaplains. And the link is also on the website. We also have a special service on Sunday, October 24th. Reverend Arlene Mayer of Unity of Orange County will be our guest speaker. Reverend Dorst will not be able to be with us that day. Following the service from 11:45 to 1:45, she's presenting a workshop, Unity, a Way of Life. And this workshop will cover the history of Unity as a New Thought movement and the spiritual principles which Unity is founded on. So lots of good information if you've just ever said, what is Unity? A sign-up sheet is available in fellowship after the service, and it will be out on every Sunday. So please sign up if you are planning on attending. And if you are watching us online and would like to come in person on the 24th, please contact us and let us know you're coming through the website. We just want to make sure we have materials for everyone. This Thursday, From 5:30 to 6:30 is our centering meditation. If you have yearned for a deeper relationship with God and would like to experience the fellowship of group meditation, please join us in Sanctuary on Thursday evenings from 5:30 to 6:30. And today we would like to thank for hospitality those whose last names began with S through Z, for taking the lead and bringing in treats for us to share. And next week, if your last name begins with A or B or C, would you please feel free to be called to bring in some treats to share with us. Finally, prayer is a core practice here at Unity of Pasadena. You may receive prayer support by completing a prayer request. These are found in the foyer and in the pews here in the sanctuary. You can put your prayer request in the love offering basket. You can hand it to the usher. You can drop it off in the office. The prayers are held first with our prayer chaplain corps, and then they are forwarded to Silent Unity, the 24-hour ministry at Unity Village in Missouri, and there they are held in prayer for another 30 days. And you can also call Silent Unity. I've had several occasions to call them in the past year, and they are fabulous in honoring and praying with you in a positive, affirmative way. So they have an 800 number, and I think it's on our bulletin. So if you need to contact Silent Unity directly, you may also contact them. Anita Scambati is going to be our prayer chaplain for today. She will be leading our meditation. And in preparation for the meditation, Trish Bryant is going to share today's daily word. Thank you.
Good morning. Today's daily word for September 26, 2021, let go, let God. The affirmation, divine love, wisdom, and understanding expressed through me. If I feel unsure of the next step in any situation, I let go and let God. I don't walk away from difficulty or try to force resolutions. Instead, I release my tight mental grip on problems and open myself to solutions. I let go of my ego's desire for control and my need to bring about specific outcomes. I believe there are solutions and remedies beyond what my mind can conceive. I yield to possibility. I trust the indwelling divine presence, just as I would trust a mentor. Letting go and letting God means creating space for the dynamic, creative energy of spirit to inspire and surprise me. Divine love, wisdom, and understanding fuel my thoughts, express my words, and guide me in all ways. And the biblical verse is, teach me your way, O Lord, that I may walk in your truth. Give me an undivided heart to revere your name. Psalm 86:11.
face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are the face of God.
Thank you.
Let's prepare for meditation by reciting together the prayer of St. Francis. And we can take it slow and let every word sink in through your heart. God, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine presence, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born into eternal life. I was trying to think of a meditation, and I have a friend that is a Reiki master that gave a sound bath these past couple of days, and I don't know how to give a sound bath, but I know how to give a light bath. So, and that came right to me when I was sitting. What am I going to do? Okay, a light bath. So close your eyes. Take a deep breath, all of us together. And in your mind, just imagine a little ball of golden light. And let that light expand. And just fill every part of you, all the way up through your feet, through your toes, your legs, all your muscles, your tummy, your chest, your arms, your neck, your head. Just let it just fill your whole body. Now let the light expand through your body. And let it just shine all around you. And use your mind, just connect with that golden light. And if you see, when you really think about it, your light's connecting with everyone else's golden light. And it's just like a river of golden light and we're all together, and we're all one. So just focus right now on that oneness, that divine love. And whenever you have a question in your mind, you can always go to that light source, and you will get answers. Let's just think of that light right now, that light and love, God, because that is what you are, that light. So for 2 minutes, just become one, just merge with that golden light. Come back to the room now and take another deep breath. And just remember this, whenever you think of any situation or problem person or any relationship problem, money problem, any problem, put it in the golden light. Put the golden light around it and send divine love to it. And you'll see in time it will dissolve and the problem will be solved. God bless you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What kind of world do I want to see?
Thank you.
Well, it sounds like you guys love Daniel Nahmod as much as I do. And it sounds like you love Levi and Jamila as much as I do too. So, awesome. You know, that song is perfect for what I'm talking about today. Of course, you knew that. You knew that. We're going to be spending some time on some really fun stuff to wrap up our four-part series on order. So, you know this because I say it just about every time I stand up to do my talk, that unity has 12 powers, that unity spends time discussing and setting forth strategies for integrating these powers in a more robust way into our lives. And this year, as themes, unity has decided that each power will be assigned a month. And so this month's power is assigned as order. So we've been talking about order. Now that's a really interesting topic, and I have loved it. And I know you guys have too. You've really enjoyed it because we started off with divine intelligence as the foundation for order. We talked about how if there's truly any order in this universe, in this space where we all thrive and survive and move forward, we have to have some sort of intelligence behind it. There has to be something back of it that drives it all in a way that makes sense. So we talked all about divine intelligence. And then the next week we talked about how if you get too close to your life and you see just those little things, those little difficulties in your life, and you focus on them solely, you find that specific view just looks like disorder all the way around. It looks awful because, you know, we as human beings, we focus on what's wrong oftentimes rather than what's right. So that 1% of our lives can overshadow the 99% that's really, really good, you know, all the things that we're grateful for. So we talked about the general and the specific and how we can pull back and we can actually see our lives in a different way and recognize the order in it. And then we talked about how, you know, even though we've pulled back, it still seems like change creates, I don't know, a system of disorder rather than order. We talked about this idea of change and how it really is a system of reordering and brand new order once the change occurs. So in every way, shape, or form, our lives seem to unfold like this. There's initially order, then things change and there's disorder. And then we find a new way to present order in our lives. We move into that space where we are maybe up-leveled, where we see it differently. Maybe we see it with clearer eyes, with a new pair of glasses. But we are in a space where we can see it differently because it is different now. And that's our new order. So change as order is an interesting way to see order itself. Well, today we're talking about something that is really near and dear to my heart. It is all about co-creation. And I don't know if that's a new term for you, but co-creation as ultimate order in your lives, meaning you take ultimate responsibility for what goes on in your lives, is what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about co-creation. And sometimes that phrase is hard to understand because how can I be a partner with God in this creative process? I mean, how is that really happening? Or is it really happening? Or is this God's world and I just live in it? Or does God get what God wants? Or did God create that situation where I got a parking ticket the other day? You know, and why did that happen, for crying out loud? Well, you know, I parked in the wrong spot. That's why that happened. I recognize that. I made the decision to do that. Whoa, did I somehow co-create that circumstance? Well, we're going to find out today in our discussion on co-creation. And I'm going to use some really interesting things to bring that idea to you. That we are in partnership with Spirit, with God, in everything that unfolds in our lives. And when we understand that, we can move forward in a completely different way, getting the kinds of results that we want, as I might say, without discord. But we have to be aware. We have to be conscious. We can't fall asleep at the wheel. All right? Okay, so here we go. I'm going to use 3 different metaphors for you today in discussing how this co-creation process works. The first metaphor is directly out of the Bible. I mean, it's the first real story in the Bible. It's the creation story. And I love to use the Bible as a guidepost for how things are really unfolding. You know, the Bible can be a textbook in ways, and it certainly is Unity's textbook, but Unity utilizes a different view of the Bible. Not only do we, when we need to, look at the stories, the unfoldment of Spirit in the Bible as that which is, but we also see it as that which can be explained in our lives today. Meaning it's not just a bunch of stories about what happened 3,500 years ago or 2,000 years ago. I mean, that doesn't make much sense just to get that book and say, this is our textbook, let's learn the history. No, what can we glean from it to bring about a brighter today, a better tomorrow? I mean, that's what textbooks are for, right? I mean, learn this stuff so you can have a better life. So I start with the first story so that we can take a look at this in an interesting and metaphorical way. Now, I wrote this, by the way, so you're not going to be able to find this anywhere else. And sometimes I like to, if I can't find a quote that fits, I write it. And you guys have heard that. So if I can't find a story that fits, I write it. So here we go. I hope you enjoy this. So this is about creation, and I draw directly from Genesis. I draw Genesis chapter 1. Okay, so on day 1, you guys are familiar with that. On day 1, God created the heavens and the earth, including water. The heavens refers to everything beyond earth, even outer space. God then speaks light into existence. He then separates the light from the dark and names the light day and the dark night. This creative work occurs from evening until morning, and it is considered to be day 1. Now that's directly from the Bible. That's from Genesis 1 through 5. What happened on day 2? Well, here we go. God created the sky. The earth now has an atmosphere, separating it from the waters. This creative work all occurs in day 2. God, as always, declares that it is good. Directly from Genesis 1, 6 through 8. Creation, day 3. God creates dry land. Continents and islands are above the water. The large bodies of water are named seas, and the ground is named land. God once again declares that all of this is good. That's directly from Genesis 1, 9 through 13. Day 4. Oh, by the way, God was not finished on that day. He also created plant life, both large and small. He creates this life to be self-sustaining with the ability to reproduce, which is incredibly important. The earth was green and teeming with diverse plants. God declares that this work is also good, and that's day 3. That was a tiring day, by the way. That one was a tiring day. There's a lot going on that day. Day 4, creation. This is Genesis 1, 14 through 19. God creates all the stars in the heavenly bodies. 2 great heavenly bodies are made in relation to the earth. The first is the sun, which is the primary source of light, and the second is the moon, which reflects the light of the sun. The movement of these bodies will distinguish day from night. This work is also declared to be good by God. This creative work is what day 4 is. On day 5, God creates all life that lives in the water. He also makes all of the birds. The language allows that this may be the time God made flying insects as well. Or if not, they were made on day 6, and we're going to talk about day 6 in a second. All of these creatures are made with the ability to perpetuate their species by reproduction. The creatures made on day 5 are the first creatures blessed by God. God declares this work good and the creatures to be good. This is what was done on day 5. Creation day 6, Genesis 1, 24 through 31. God creates all the creatures that live on dry land. This includes every type of creature not included on previous days, and also man. God declares this work to be good. And then we have day 7, which is described in Genesis 2, the chapter 2, 1 through 3. God rests. This in no way indicates that God is weary from his creative efforts, but denotes that creation is complete. Further, God is establishing a pattern of 1 day in 7 to rest. The keeping of this day will eventually be a distinguishing trait of God's chosen people. And God's chosen people are described in Exodus 28 through 11. Now, by the way, you are God's chosen people. Bring it up to today, up to speed today. You are God's chosen people. All people are God's chosen people. And we'll know this in a moment as soon as we figure out what happened next. Now I'm really interested. I know what happened on the first 7 days. I am so interested in this process. And I say to myself, doggone it, Greg, what do you think happened on the 8th day? So you want to hear my 8th day? Yes. All right. Because what we have on the 8th day is the basis for what it is we're talking about today. On the 8th day, and this is God speaking, I planted in each of my children, in each of you, the universal seed. This seed is watered by your thoughts and inspired by your faith and belief. Your free will to decide what you want in life shall determine what the universal seed will produce. This universal seed becomes my word activated by you. Together we shall have the power to heal, reveal, and create. It is the seed of everything we need or ever will need. As I am in you, creation is now in you. I work with you and through you from this day forward. And that is the universal seed on day 8. And Greg said, it is good. But I also say, if we are awake and aware around what is happening every single day of our lives, every single creative moment of our lives, we know the truth of this. We recognize and understand that creation did not stop with the 7th day. I mean, God listed the flying creatures, the birds, but we are now flying creatures. We're in the planes, flying above the earth in the atmosphere. We can go underwater for not only a few moments, but incredibly long and extended periods of time. I mean, we've even talked about setting up homes underwater so that we can be there and make them our specific space. We could call it home. We go into outer space to live. We have space stations. We've traveled to the moon. We have sent explorers to Mars and into outer space, even beyond our own little solar system. We've seen it out there. Where's that? That's not in here. This is not in here. We've built skyscrapers. We have moved farther and farther and farther from the earth toward the heavens. We have done amazing things with science. We have all changed the way we get along together. We don't kill people when we disagree with them anymore. Oh, we've changed our hearts. We've changed our minds. Our world is a different place. It's not in here. It's not in the first 7 days. It doesn't say, and on the 6th day, we decided it was time for us to fly as human beings. You know, made as flyers. But we did decide on the 8th day that that was something that we wanted to do, something we wanted to shoot for. We did decide on the 8th day that we'd plant the seed of flight. We did decide on the 8th day that we would plant the seed of seeing the world differently, of living in communities that can get along. We did decide on the 8th day of planting the seed for what it is you want your life to look like. Because I'll tell you, it doesn't say in Genesis, the first chapter, that first story that we just talked about, that each of our lives are going to be different. I mean, every single life is different. Not only do we look different from one another, but we're doing different things. We think differently. We have different parents. We went to different schools. We learned different things. We go our own separate ways. We go places where you don't go unless you're me. I mean, how did that happen? How did all these differences transpire? How did my life become so different from yours? Why do we live in different places? Why do I want different things than you do? Why do things, interesting things that you don't want in your life, show up in mine? And versa versa. Yeah? That's the eighth day. This is the eighth day language. This is co-creation in process, you see? Because what it is you're doing is you're using all of the factors that we've talked about in the principles heretofore. When we talked about imagination, you remember that? We're using that principle every single day to create something in our own minds that we shall see outpictured should we take the necessary action. Oh, by the way, that's how I got up here. Because I was sitting in the audience one day, and I heard somebody say something that just drove a spiritual stake into my heart. And I thought to myself, I want to do that. I want to be able to affect lives. I want to be able to change the course of, maybe even religious history. Maybe I can bring a new idea. Maybe I can bring a new way of looking at things so that people can get along, have greater and brighter communities, live life free of discord together. I mean, what a lofty idea, right? I mean, I can make it happen on a smaller level. I mean, our family gets along really well, doesn't it, Jackie? Oh, we got beautiful kids. We all get along well. They do things that amaze me every single day, and I know you have families that are the same. This church family, we all get along extremely well. We're on the same page, helping each other. We want to see the best for each and every person in this room, and whoever's live streaming out there, we want the best for you too. This community works. And we can make that happen in ways that are magnificent because we decide to do that, you see, because the eighth day allows us to. The eighth day allows us to have different religions without killing each other. Oh my gosh, when did we decide that was okay? Centuries of warring, one religion against the next. The eighth day was a wonderful day. When God planted in each and every one of us that universal seed, God said, co-creation is now the order of the day. And so let's see if we can say it in a different way, okay? Let's see if we can say this in a different way. I'm going to try and give you another metaphor that maybe can help you with this, because you might be saying, well, Greg, you took the Bible and then you turned it around by adding stuff in it that's not in it. The eighth day stuff, I've read it, and it's not in there. So maybe we should try another metaphor. All right. So let's look at it another way. All right. Let's look at it this way. So we live in God's house, okay? We live in God's house. Now, can you guys agree with that idea? I mean, we didn't create this house. We didn't create the universe. We didn't create the earth. We didn't bring the atmosphere forth, although we can affect it in a lot of different ways. But we live in God's house. Because I truly believe that God creates from itself and merely becomes what it is that it creates. So we are in God's house. We live in God. God lives in us. All right, so maybe I will quote a little Bible, okay? Maybe I will do that. So, closer than breath, nearer than hands and feet? All right? All right, so we're in God's house. We are in God's house. So inside God's house are some incredible tools that have been given to us. From imagination to our will to choose. That which we've imagined can become, manifest in our lives if we have the will to make a decision to grab a hold of that idea, plant our own universal seed, water it with our thought and belief, be committed to it, follow through with those commitments. I mean, those are the things we talked about last month. And we know them to be true. We can make things happen if we can actually stick to it. If we can follow through with what it is that we really want in all of the right ways, it shows up in our lives. It does. It shows up in our lives. So when I decided that I wanted to be a minister, I had to do some things. I had to start taking classes. I had to follow through with what it is I wanted to see unfold, and it took a long time. I mean, it took 7 years. It's a dream that wasn't fleeting. And it's those non-fleeting dreams that create the faith, belief, trust, and action that's necessary in order to make those things happen, you see. I mean, that's how we bring the invisible to the visible realm. Those are the things that God said were going to happen on the 8th day with the universal seed. You get to create what it is that you need, but you have to have these things in place. You have to have the imagination. You have to have the will to make those decisions. And then you have to be able to see it in your life. And we call that prayer. What we talk about when we talk about prayer, as Jesus says, is really just affirming that we have what it is that we want. Pray as if ye already have it. Set that seed in the heart, in the mind. Move toward it. Do everything necessary to see it unfold. Pray as if you already have it. Oh, that's the basis for making sure that this co-creative process actually works. So this is all in God's house. This is in God's house. The drawing table is there, you see, where you imagine what it is that you want to see. God has provided you the drawing table. God has provided you every single tool that you need to get what you want. Everything. It's available. Connections with relationships. Education to get where you'd like to go. Communities that you can connect with that bring you a spiritual experience that just make you sink to your knees. If heaven doesn't look like this with these kinds of opportunities, then I don't know what heaven's going to look like. But I really believe that if you can't see the heaven in what you're living in, you'll never find it anywhere. It certainly isn't going to happen after you die. Because you can't see it here. But you see, God on the 8th day said the universal seed can bring you your own heaven. Everything you need, everything you desire. Your faith, your belief, your feelings create the action. The action creates the result. All this in God's house. You're living in God's house, and God has provided you with everything that you need. From the food, to the furniture, to the drawing table, to all of the things that are invisible that will bring the visible to bear. Are you with me? Do you see this happening? All right. So we live in God's house. Cannot deny it. What's in there? Everything I need. And why is it there? So that we can create this life together, says God. So that we can co-create our experience. All right, let's do another one. If you don't like the house thing because, maybe you want to live outdoors or something, I don't know. Let's talk about this one. So, God owns the car, okay? God owns the car. You get the keys. God hands you the keys. And God says, you can use these keys to hop in here and go wherever you need to go, any time you want. You just turn it on and you go. Whatever you want in your life, this car will take you there. These are the keys. You get to use it in your own way as you see fit. All right? Oh, now this brings about a wonderful distinction that we must know. Those keys, they get us where we need to go or want to go, but they're not the car. The keys are not the car. And by the way, I have a grandson who's nearly 17 years old, and he's learning how to drive. And so you got to do some things in order to figure out how to use the car, right? There's some things you got to do. But God says, here's the car, here are the keys, go wherever you want to go, but remember, these are the keys, that's my car. This is why we remain reverent. around what it is that we see, and we give thanks for it. You see, I'm giving thanks for things that aren't mine. I'm giving thanks for things that are flowing through me that allow me to get to the place that I want to go. And do you know what that place is called? Heaven. We just said it. That's the place I want to go, and I can go there now. I just did, by the way. Because the connection that we feel, the heart space that we know that we share, the love that we have for one another and the rest of the world has just brought me to that space where it must be heaven. And I'm here right now. That car just took me there. In fact, that's what the car really is. That's what the car really is. This is the co-creation process. We create what we want to see, what we want to feel. Do things in life, that stuff that's material, that stuff that's immaterial, the stuff that we can't see, it's invisible. That stuff that's inside of us. And we get to create all of it. We get to create all of what's inside of us and all of what shows up outside of us. The universal seed is at work right now. The universal seed allows you to determine through your interpretation and your perspective just what it is I'm really saying and just how it is you can use these tools that I'm talking about. You get to decide. And you know what? You're all going to make different decisions. You know how I know that? Because none of your lives look the same. None of them do. I mean, we're all humans. We're all beautiful, expressions of the divine. We truly are. But we have different ideas about what our heaven is. And so we unfold in different ways. And that is good too. By the way, can you see order in that? Oh, I can. I can see order in the beauty of a different idea. I can see order in the beauty of another life that's being lived in ways that becomes an example for me, that allows me to learn from you. I see order in this process everywhere, even though it doesn't look like it. And that order is divine. Well, we kicked this subject of order around for a whole month, you guys. We've done it for a whole month. Next month, we get a new one. We're going to talk about zeal, and that's really going to be fun. We're going to talk about zeal. Zeal sounds like maybe an animal in Africa, right? But it's not. We'll dig into it. We'll figure out exactly what it's about and how to bring it about in our lives, because it's about electric energy. It's about lighting ourselves up, and we can do that. You know why? Because on the 8th day, God gave us the universal seed. So know this. I love you. I am blessed and honored to be here with you on a day such as today. I am blessed and honored to share your heaven and invite you into mine. Namaste. Oh, yes. Oh, look at. She is the greatest prompter in the world. I wouldn't even know where I am without her, honestly. There are a couple of people in here that know me really well, and they know that's true. They absolutely know that's true. I could not have made it here without you. Thank you, darling. My wonderful wife, Jackie. We have not only a tradition, but we have a practice of giving. And this practice of giving allows us to create a flow. It allows us to continue to receive that which we need to receive. We don't put a block in this circulation. We keep all our flow moving. Much like a lake that has an ingress and an egress. If the lake has no ingress, it dies. If it has no egress and just takes the water in, it dies as well. But if we have a way of allowing it to flow through the lake and onward, and it thrives and survives. And we are the same way. We allow things to flow through us. And the way we do that is by our community giving. And so please, would you just please place your giving over your heart and join with me. God is the source of my overflowing supply, and I am grateful. Now we have an usher. Norma today is ushing. Norma, would you please come and receive from each of us our overflowing supply, that which nourishes something that absolutely must thrive and survive, the consciousness of the singular source.
I am creating my highest good. Those doors are opening like they should. I am creating my better life. I wake up every day and everyone is nice. 'Cause I believe it, I see it, and then before I know it, my world suddenly will show it. I am creating my happiness as I take new roads. It's understood. I am creating my happiness. I try to catch it all as it goes flying past. 'Cause I believe it, I see it, and then before I know it, my world suddenly will show it. I am creating, I am creating, I am creating my highest good. I am creating, I am creating, I am creating my highest good. Woo! I am creating my highest good. I'm doing much more than I ever thought I could. I am creating a better space. I know I'm always in my bright and perfect place. 'Cause I believe it, I see it, and then before I know it, my world suddenly will show it. I am creating, I am creating, I am creating my highest good. I am creating, I am creating, I am creating my highest good.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks, Levi.
Norma, would you bring the gifts up, please? We're going to bless the gifts. And this process is really just an affirmation that we're blessing it to the highest good of this community, that we agree, declare, and commit to use these funds in a magnificent way for the unfoldment of a community that gives good to the world, that gives good to the local community, that gives good to individuals themselves. We see that, we know it, we feel it, we recognize and know that this process, this unfoldment that happens in this space, this unity of Pasadena, is magnificent and deserves to grow, to thrive, and to bring more people to it. And so this allows it to do it. We're grateful. We thank you. We release these words with great thanksgiving into the law. Know that it's done. And please say with me, and so it is. Oh. See? I planted that seed. I can't do without her. It's true. That's the seed. That's the way it's unfolded. That's the way it's grown. So we have a silent unity prayer for protection that I'd like you to join with me. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever God is, I am divine, and all is well. So we're singing a closing song today. What is it? Which one are we singing today? I choose love. You guys want to join in? The words will be up on the slide. Come on, stand up. Let's do this. Let's do this together.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present. It's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one. One tie that binds us that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace for our planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present. It's what we're made of. I choose love. We are all part of each other. We are one. One tie that binds us that can't be undone. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love.
Please join us for refreshment today after service in the refreshing lounge area. You see.